Hello all, it's me, Andy from Blitz Gaming. Hope you're all having a great day. We're going to benchmark the Intel Pentium Gold G6405 with the RX550 Radeon. Let's go. Plenty of games to look at. So we've got some synthetic benchmarks, 3D Mark, Science Spy. I suppose it got a fairly decent score, I suppose, for what it is. Also got the CPU profile. Again, I don't know if that's a good score or not. I mean, it seemed okay at the end of the day. There was no slowdown or jerkiness in 3D Mark or the CPU profile scoring at the end of the day. Again, we got PC Mark. Again, didn't see no slowdown or any struggles running a benchmark. So I'll take it as OD at the end of the day. Okay, also run Cinebench R23 and also got the hardware monitor up. See the temperature, 56 at the worst state scenario, and it's running at full throttle. We get a lovely score of 2,500. Can't complain, I suppose. Now, I am impressed with this score. Very good. I mean, bottom range processor beating a Ryzen 1700. Can't complain there. That's a great score in single threaded benchmark. Company Heroes 2. Great RTS to play. Yeah, if you like multiplayer, this is fantastic. If you like RTS games, plays well. Yeah, 80 frames. And then they were doing that at 25 frames on the 1% low. Again, nothing to worry about. It plays extremely well. CSGO. I'm going to run fine. Using low settings to be competitive. And then they're getting up to 120 frames. With the 1% lows being down to 45. But at the end of the day, you can see it runs fine. At the end of the day, really no problem. At the end of the day, great game, worth playing. Rome Total War 2 plays great at the end of the day. I mean, we're using very high settings. Now, I did go up to Ultra, but Ultra had some dropped too far, and I wanted to keep it over 30 frames a second. Now, you can play, obviously, Troy, the latest version, and you'll probably be, instead of being on very high, you'll probably be on medium settings. Otherwise, everything else the same. And also Warhammer, probably medium settings at the end of the day. Otherwise, plays fine.
Rome may have raised me, trained me, but my loyalty is to my people!
Battlefield 1. I love this game. The game plays pretty well at the end of the day. I'm on medium settings and 1080p. Now we set it up to say it does a minimum of 30 frames a second. So it's playable, runs fine. I mean, it's a great game. You should definitely play it.
We can keep it moving! See that tank, Edwards? Don't get us stuck in the mud like that. They got one of ours! Eyes front, drive! Shot of those field guns! I appreciate not being a target, new boy! Those field guns are shredding their outfit! Look where that shot came from, and let them have it! The more wire we can clear, the faster our men can move up. Hold position here! Clean out all the German guns!
The Witcher 3, another great game at the end of the day. If you like these third person slashing games, it plays well, but this is on low settings, still 1080p. I couldn't get the higher settings to go, it dropped too much at the end of the day. But it plays okay. With the 1% low gets down to 25. It stayed around the 30 frames a second at the end of the day. Again, it's a great game. You want to play it. If you haven't played it, play it. Especially get it on Steam when it's on special offer. Okay, Red Dead 2. Okay, what, a year old now? 18 months? Again, being a fairly new game, it's got good strong graphics at the end of the day. Now this is on 720p at the end of the day, performance 6 settings. We're trying to keep it over the 30 frames. We're running on Vulkan. Yeah. The GPU is going like the clapboard's 100%, like most of the games. And the actual CPU is going pretty high as well. So we're getting a lot of performance out of the graphic card and the CPU at the end of the day. But I mean, played well. It looks okay. Can't go wrong. I don't really find any drops. Mind you, I've not gone to the city at the end of the day. The city's supposed to be the big thing, but I just haven't got that far yet in the game. So I can't actually show you that bit. But I did do the benchmark, the built-in benchmark, and it came out the same as what I'm running here.
to see you back.
Shadow of Mordor. This is another great slasher up game. At the end of the day. Now we're in 1080p, medium settings. The frame rate, even though it's doing good around 45 frames, and it don't really drop below 34 on the 1% lows. Now you might be asking, why didn't I try number 2, Shadow of War? Well, Shadow of War is a lot more graphic intensive, and I don't think it would have played very well at the end of the day on this setup. But at the end of the day, the graphics are very, very, very similar to both games. It's just one's a lot bigger of a game.
What was that? Come on!
Horizon Zero Dawn. You know, I didn't realise this was 4 years old until the other day. Now this is one of those games which has got great graphics. It may be 4 years old, but the graphics in it are very strong. And yes, we had to play in 720p on low settings. I mean, it still looks fantastic. At the end of the day, we got the frame rate between 35 and 40 frames. Yes, the 1% low does drop pretty nasty at the end of the day, but you don't notice it that often. I mean, it's a great game at the end of the day. Another good slash 'em up game, fighting robots.
You're not gonna like this. Here we go again.
GTA 5, everyone's favourite. I mean, this is what, 10 years old? Something like that. I mean, it still looks great. And they've just updated it as well this week. I mean, it plays fantastic at the end of the day. Now, I've got it in 1080p with high settings, very high settings. Now, we obviously don't have the anti-aliasing on, MSAA, AA or FXAA. They're turned off. We did try turning them on and the frame rate just died. So we obviously got it where we can play it at the end of the day. I mean, it looks fantastic, plays fantastic. It's a great game at the end of the day. Okay, the graphics is not the top of the range, but it's 10 years old. And at the end of the day, it may be literally 10 years old, but it still looks fantastic for its age, and it plays great for its age. It's a game you should be playing.
Is there any chance I can give you a quick squeeze?
I got cast to listening to footwear.
What's that? Hey, that shit was fucked up last night, right?
Okay, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now, I'm not benchmarked Valhalla because I think Valhalla's buggy. And it's got this weird problem with its resolution scaling. But otherwise, yeah, if you look at the settings on here, now we're using 1080p low settings at the end of the day, so Valhalla is going to be a lot more stronger in graphics as well. So I don't think the frame rate's going to come out very well at the end of the day. I mean, if you want me to try it at the end of the day, put it in the comments and I'll show do Valhalla at the end of the day. But I mean, it looks great at the end of the day. Even with low settings, it looks fantastic. I mean, it's a great game. Another slash 'em up game. Just fantastic at the end of the day.
I'm sad I have to kill you. That's how it is. I'll find you again. Ukas vales esti. Yes, boy.
I should try to stay out of sight.
Ghost Recon. 1080p, low settings. I mean, it looks great. I mean, it's a great strategy game, and I think you ought to play it if you can. Again, like all games, we've got 100% GPU usage. The CPU is doing about 50-60% at the end of the day, but it plays well. Battlefield 5 at the end of the day, game plays well at the end of the day. Now we are on low settings, but we are in 1080p with 100% scale. Game, we've got 100% CPU usage, sorry, GPU usage, and the CPU's running pretty high too. I mean, it's a pretty complex game and it demands a lot of resources, but it's playing well. At the end of the day, I'm not saying you can't play it. I mean, we kept it well into the 30 frames a second. At the end of the day, with the settings we've got. It's a game I think you should play. If you haven't played it, I think you should play it.
Wir sind in Reichweite. Feuer erwidern.
Schaden!
Artilleriestellung zerstört. Jetzt die andere.
Verballert!
Das war die letzte Artilleriestellung.
Division 2 at the end of the day. Another great game. Good shoot 'em up game. Play multiplayer with your mates doing missions is great. I mean, it's playing quite well. At the end of the day, we are on 1080p. We are on low settings, but it still looks great. At the end of the day, it's a great game. At the end of the day, Okay, you've seen the benchmarks. It's not a bad chip, and the graphic card does well to keep up. Well, it was at maximum throttle most of the time. Now, you did notice in some of the games that if you wanted to save more money on the budget build, you can only get 8 gig of memory. Quite a few of these games were basically 9, 10, 12 gig of memory being used. So, take that in consideration. You won't be able to play them if you ain't got enough memory. Okay, we will do an update with some more processors. We're going to get an i3 and an i5. Now, I'm not going to get an i7 at the end of the day, not for the board we got. And considering Alder Lake's not that far away. And then what I will do, I should update everything with charts as well as the videos at the end of the day. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video at the end of the day. And please comment and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks all, Andy out.